Welcome into our third edition of our Roundtable series. Today's edition is on dining. As always, I will be your moderator. My name is Elle. I'm the editor-in-chief for the FDU Equinox, and I thank you all for tuning in to this Roundtable series as we try to answer any questions that we can regarding the dining situation on campus when we return in the fall. Up first, we have Joanna with the category of how New Jersey restaurants are working. Since we don't have a ton of information on dining when we return, we are referencing our dining halls like restaurants since they are similar to restaurants just for people on the campus. Joanna, take it away.
Thank you, Elle. I am Joanna Marino, the news editor for the Equinox. Governor Phil Murphy signed Executive Order number 150, allowing the reopening of outdoor dining for food and beverage establishments, such as restaurants, diners, food courts, and bars, to be effective starting 6 a.m. on Monday, June 15th. This followed the relaxing of restrictions on less essential businesses, like retail and low-risk outdoor activities. Such allowances are being made according to the governor's proposed rollback plan for New Jersey, which delineated the stages where it is deemed safe for businesses to reopen. Under the context of perceived decrease in COVID-19 cases in New Jersey, the governor stated that the state can begin to lift some restrictions, officially entering stage 2. In his executive order, Murphy included guidelines that food and beverage establishments must follow for outdoor dining, such as limiting capacity to ensure patrons maintain 6 feet apart from each other at all times, with the exception of those who wish to share a table. For outdoor seating, it is prohibited for patrons to go back inside for any other reason besides exiting or entering, or to use a bathroom. Face masks will also be required, unless a person has a medical reason against it or the child is underneath 2 years of age. Smoking is also prohibited in any outdoor seating area that is meant for food and beverage consumption, only until indoor seating is available and functional again. As for individual restaurants' outdoor seating capabilities, Order number 150 left it up to the municipalities to grant use of parks, sidewalks, and streets at their discretion. More recently, Executive Order number 157 described the circumstances for indoor dining to be effective for July 2nd. These include limiting capacity to 25% of the indoor maximum store capacity, excluding the employees. They will only serve patrons who are seated, as well as only allowing seated patrons to order. They will provide employees sufficient break times for repeated hand washing throughout their shift. They should arrange contactless pay, pickup, and delivery options, considering patrons who may not have access to the internet. And they should frequently sanitize highly contacted areas like bathrooms, counters, and keypads. Employees and patrons are still required to wear face masks with the same guidelines as outdoor dining. This order has been temporarily set back on Monday, June 29, due to the perceived lack of social distancing and spike in corona cases. The above guidelines are expected to be put in place when it is deemed safe too. Back to you, Elle.
Thank you, Joanna. With our on-campus eateries needing to reopen as residents and commuter students return to school and need a place to dine on campus, it raises the question of how many people will be allowed inside our 3 separate dining locations, both the Student Union Building, Dining Hall, the Riverside Cafe, and Dickinson Cafe. With this subject, we will have Amaya speak about it.
Good afternoon, everybody. As you know, I am Amaya Morales and the managing editor for the FDU Equinox. And as Elle stated previously, I will be discussing occupancy limits within our school dining halls, as well as change in operations. So let's get right into it. I recently spoke to the Associate VP of Communications, Angelo Carfagna, who's been answering most of our questions at the Equinox. In his email regarding some questions I asked, Angelo said, as with all operations for the fall, we are aligning our dining plans with the guidance recently provided by the New Jersey Office of the Secretary of Higher Education. This will include, of course, necessary social distancing and other measures to adhere to health and safety standards, while also providing flexible and convenient meal options for our students. Angelo did confirm that FDU will be following health standards of New Jersey state laws should we return to campus. Additionally, he did tell me that the task force corresponding to this issue is now finalizing its recommendations, so we should have more information shortly, and the school and these task forces will keep the students posted. Now I would like to briefly discuss what the New Jersey State of Higher Education has input in this plan that they want all colleges and universities to send 2 weeks prior to opening. So currently, we are in stage 2 of the 6-point plan to reopen New Jersey. This includes outdoor dining at a limit, of course, takeout food, and curbside pickup. When it comes to dining on campus, New Jersey has a set of standards that the school should follow depending on the stage that the state is in. So, should we possibly move to stage 3 when we return to campus, some limitations would include all outdoor and indoor dining facilities should follow the state laws and guidelines, including proper hygiene protocol, wearing a minimum of cloth masks in public, remaining 6 feet apart, and minimizing gatherings. So mainly what we are doing already now in restaurants. However, with the potential for cases to increase, we would have to go backwards, which includes only takeout and grab-and-go options for schools if we end up returning to campus, that is. And limitations for all stages include wearing a mask, social distancing, sanitation protocols, as well as cleaning protocols to make sure that everything is properly sanitized each time it's used. For example, in the dining halls, there will probably be a person or multiple people cleaning after each time someone uses a table per se. Institutions must limit the number of individuals in a single facility. So let's say, I would say Riverside is the most popular to eat at. So there will probably be a limit of maybe 25 to 50% capacity of what it normally is. So there's a lot of things that would be changed, of course. They also suggested the Office of Higher Education suggested that they can include multiple pickup points if they do decide to have pickup options, or to deliver the food directly to the individual, whether they're in their dorm or in the library, for example. And institutions must eliminate buffet-style dining, as well as self-serve open food and beverage options. So there's a lot to be discussed. As previously stated, FDU is working on letting us know what happens. So hopefully there will be an answer soon. Thank you, Elle.
Thank you, Amaya. I think that it will be very interesting to see the plan that FDU comes up with, because Riverside Cafe and Dickinson Cafe won't be as difficult, as the way that they work is you order your food and then you receive it. It isn't really much of like a buffet style or anything. But the Student Union Building cafeteria, which is where the majority of freshmen, their meal plan is the unlimited swipes to the sub caf, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, especially with freshmen moving to campus for the first time. If they can't have buffet styles and they're limiting the people who are in there, maybe you only have a certain amount of time to eat and you can't eat because there's already too many people in the place that your meal swipes are accepted, which would be a very interesting situation to have students put into and could possibly end up not going great for a lot of people. Up next, we're going to be discussing the sanitary measures that are going to need to be put into place in these facilities. And we will have Sonal talk about the sanitary measures for the employees working for gourmet dining in our different facilities.
My name is Sonal, and I am a staff writer for the FDU Equinox. It is anticipated that when the campus reopens, the dining hall will also reopen for all the residents who will be returning to campus. However, when this happens, things cannot go back to the way they were. There will be new procedures for the daily routines that take place in the dining hall. To help formulate these procedures, the American College Health Association, or the ACHA, has some guidelines for precautions that employees should take to reduce risk of infection. In addition, the Center for Disease Control, or CDC, has procedures for the disinfection of a facility, which can be used by the cleaning staff for the dining hall. According to the CDC, these procedures are: wear disposable gloves, clean with soap and water before using disinfectant. The recommendation is to use an EPA-registered household disinfectant. The more often something is used, the more often it needs to be sterilized. Disinfect frequently touched items and surfaces more frequently. There are 2 essential tasks to complete to ensure that the dining hall is optimized for the health safety of everyone in it. The first task, which is a recommendation from the CDC, is to establish protocols for employees that are sick. We have not yet heard about these protocols, but the CDC has some recommendations. These CDC recommendations include planning for situations in which a staff member is absent and communicating with public health authorities as well as everyone in the college community. The second task is to put in place a number of sanitary measures that the dining hall employees can take to prevent each other from being infected. We have not yet heard from the school about this either. The CDC recommends that employees create, implement, and revise a plan for disinfection. Ideally, this will involve the use of EPA-approved disinfectants, but there are alternatives that can be used. In addition, the ACHA has recommendations that employees can take to prevent getting infected. According to the ACHA, the measures include doing temperature checks before the shift starts, staying at home when sick, disinfecting surfaces that are touched frequently, maintaining hygiene, avoid touching eyes, nose, mouth with hands, wearing face masks and gloves at all times. There are also procedures for serving food to students so that students don't get infected or infect each other. According to the ACHA, the procedures include arranging to deliver food to students that are quarantined, establishing different dining times for different groups of people, controlling the number of people that can enter and leave the dining hall, putting down markers that are spaced 6 feet apart so people know where to stand and maintain social distancing, providing takeout meals to be served by staff only. We currently don't have all the information of how all of this will play out. We are expecting this to be resolved by the administration by the time school opens. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sonal. I find it very interesting you brought up the point about having eating times for people on campus as a recommendation. And I feel like I'm very curious to know how that would work, especially considering that we're a major commuter campus. So, commuters are only there certain days and certain times. So if they're stuck on campus and they want to go to Riverside Cafe or the Sub or Dickinson, wherever, to get food on campus, and they're told, oh, well, you don't have an assigned eating time, so you can't get food. I feel like that's very interesting to hear about. I feel like that would be a very difficult thing for FDU to implement, at least at our campus, because of the commuter-based graphics on our campus. Up next, we're going to be discussing the sanitary and hygiene guidelines for students whenever eating at dining halls. Nancy talking about that.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Nancy. I am this year's entertainment editor for the Equinox. To start us off, I want to know that I, too, have reached out to Angelo Carferna, who, again, is the Associate VP for Communications. I reached out to him about the plans for dining services this fall. Similar to what he told Amaya, Angelo told me that, and I quote, "Part of the challenge is that we are attempting to plan for multiple scenarios depending on what stage of recovery our state is in and what is permissible at the time. We will provide more details as soon as plans are finalized." So again, the nature of our return remains up in the air. I will be going over what other universities are doing to keep students safe in dining halls. So Boston University COVID-19 restrictions are as follows. Number 1, guests must cover their mouth and nose with a mask or cloth face covering. Number 2, guests will not be allowed to dine in, including residence dining rooms, cafes, or restaurants. Number 3, guests should use designated entrance and exit pathways. Number 4, all meals are served in disposable takeout containers with single-use condiments. And number 5, self-serve stations remain fully paused. Western Michigan University, on the other hand, have adapted as follows. Dining has transitioned to grab-and-go service only to reduce wait times and contact surfaces between guests. Number 2, seating areas have been closed. Number 3, social distancing is enforced by only allowing 10 people into the grab-and-go area at a time. And number 4, taped exits are at least 6 feet. We can only wait and see until President Christopher Capuano announces our official guide for this fall semester. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. I'm very interested to see what the dining plan is for FDU because there are many different schools that are coming up with different solutions for how it would work for their campus. You know, we are a smaller campus as far as residents go that regularly use the dining hall 7 days a week, but we are a very large commuter population which use the dining halls when they are on campus during the main 5 days that we have. We are going to move on to Anthony, who is going to discuss some menu changes that will be required with the no longer having the many buffet options. You know, in the sub, we can also like make our own food, that sort of thing. So things like that are going to change. And I think it'll also be interesting to see the options when they do come out with the plan for students who have special health concerns, allergies, that sort of thing. So Anthony, go ahead.
So I'm going to be focusing on, like I said, the menu items that FD will have once we return for the 2020 fall semester. So with the 2020 fall semester fastly approaching, one main question is how will students who dorm and can be able to eat at the Student Union Building, Riverside Cafe, and Dickinson Cafe on campus? Will there be limited seating in dining halls, or will there be no seating at all? So it's going to be a main focus of how students will be able to eat. So one university that has implemented a new dining hall schedule for the students has been Princeton University with their summer classes. So they have their own Butler dining hall, and it'll be open from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. during the summertime. So this plan started around June 3rd, and the details would include students will pick up their own dinner during operation hours, which is 4:30 to 6:30, and then also pick up their next day's breakfast and lunch. Also, all the guests must enter and exit through the dining hall entrance with 1 flight per day, as per usual. And all the meals will be served in takeout containers with individually wrapped condiments and utensils to be eaten elsewhere in order to promote safe social distancing. And of course, eating in a dining hall is not permitted. So, one question would be, is Princeton going to be continuing this when the fall semester comes around, or will they change it with more students? And one problem I noticed with this is that if students pick up their breakfast and lunch for the next day, the food selection is most likely going to be limited. So the food can stay fresh for the night and be edible on the next day. I don't know what kind of food they're giving. They didn't specify on their website specifically what kind of food is given for breakfast and lunch. day. So I did reach out to gourmet dining. I got no response from them yet. So hopefully when the semester comes closer, we'll have more details on dinner plans and with what's going to be open, just the sub's going to be open, or Riverside's going to be open, or all three. So like we said before, FDU has not announced any plans ever since their announcement of the start and end dates of the semester. So another question: how FDU handle the amount of students entering dining halls? What will the food selection be for students? And will FDU only open up the student union building for dining, as it's the main hub for where everybody else gets food? So that's my section on menu items. Back to you, Al.
Thank you, Anthony. I think that it's kind of interesting about what other universities are doing, and that certain universities are going to have, people have their food taken with them for breakfast and lunch, especially whenever it's a rule at the student union building cafeteria, the sub, that you aren't allowed to take food with you. Like, that's a thing. You can actually get yelled at by the employees because they don't want you taking the food back to your dorm and then it's spoiling and you getting sick from it and then it causing an issue. So it would have to be something that the school couldn't make you sick if it sits in your room for a day. So that is very interesting. So I think that the plan is definitely going to take a lot of thought, which we thank our task forces for putting thought into it. But at the same time, students do hope to have this information as soon as possible because there isn't information right now. And how are we going to eat? And especially for students with medical conditions and allergies that don't have, they have to eat specific foods. If they don't have those options, what are they supposed to do? Especially freshmen who are required to have a meal plan if they are living on campus for their first year. What are they going to eat if they are not accommodated for? We would like to thank you all for tuning in to today's roundtable. This is our 3rd out of 6 in our series. If you guys would like to see the previous ones, they will be linked down below. We also have 2 special edition roundtables that we will also link down below. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and hopefully very shortly, Facebook. We will have a page. We are very thankful for all of our listeners, and make sure to subscribe and hit that like button so we know that you guys enjoy getting this information from the Equinox. Amaya, do you have anything to add?
Nope, just like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, again, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope to see you next week, in which we will be talking about student life and how it will be affected, especially Greek life. So tune in next week. We hope to see you there. Have a great week, rest of your week. Stay home, wash your hands, and wear masks. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you.